the 5-star shout out.
I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in. You can't make a. You know what I'm talking about.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing out there? Welcome to the Side Jawn. I am your co-host, Dennis Holmes. I'm here with my host, the chocolate girl, Sharon Mullen. And as I usually say it, the chocolate girl. How's everybody doing? All right. We also have
how you doing this morning?
Okay. We got some special guests in the building. Because we're here for our political show. So we got Marcus the Alphabets, Mr. Coffee Talk himself is in the building.
What's good, y'all? How y'all doing? I have to come on here anytime I get an invitation to chop it up with the chocolate girl on my favorite Saturday morning show. I gotta come through and show some love and support. What's good, everybody?
Hey,
Ain't that some shit? He just gonna say when I get a chance to chop it up with the chocolate. Like I ain't shit. You know what? I've been kicked out of better places, man.
Because he chops it up with you all the time. See, it's special when it's me.
You are the star.
Special.
You are the star. But again, we also have another special guest. We got Fred in the building. What's going on, Fred? Frederick Wilson II. Make sure I say that the right way. Don't call him Fred. Don't call him Fred.
Well, you can call me Fred, just not in front of my mama. But
yeah. How's everything been though, Frederick?
Okay.
Football is dead to me.
Frederick, the 49ers fan.
No, we don't. Football is. Did you not just hear me say football is dead to me? Collegiate, professional football is dead to me. I got a college team that is in shambles. I got,
I got you, Fred.
Team. We got to figure out. Frederick. We got to figure out how to combat electromagnet 5G rays coming from our practice facility as to why we can't keep nobody healthy longer than 27 minutes. But still be in the playoffs. Shout out to Kyle Shanahan. Inexplicably, like only 6 Coach of the Year votes. I knew he wasn't going to win it, but damn it, should have got more than 6 votes.
So
to make up for the 2019 season.
Who's your college football team?
That's what University of Michigan.
Oh, Michigan? Oh,
yeah.
That's the reason why y'all ain't.
Yeah. Shout out to Jim Harbaugh. Well, actually, whatever the negative connotation of shout out without being profane to Jim Harbaugh. Thank you for costing me a Super Bowl and then ruining my college program.
Also, it's Jim Harbaugh's fault that he made sure that guy got hired and he went ahead and.
All I'm saying is it's been downhill since we hired Jim Harbaugh. And then you got me a national championship that I can't even celebrate because we were cheating. So I can't even be like, all right, well, at least we won the chip in 2023 now because we were cheating. So, yeah.
But that's how y'all are. That's the Wolverines. That's how y'all are.
That's how we are. That's just real. Like, that's like the lineage.
That's the button.
Of Michigan, but at least At least I can have some integrity and admit that when a team cheats, their championships shouldn't count. And I'm not sitting here crying about how a coach ain't getting into the Hall of Fame, even though he got caught cheating 3 times, all 3 times.
Yeah, but that's
the 6 championships.
It's you, Fred. That's just you, Frederick. Usual. You're a very unusual Wolverine fan. Very unusual Wolverine fan because most of y'all can't admit that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I've been railing against the Patriots for the past 25 years. I cannot then turn around and when it's almost the exact same situation with Michigan and be like, oh no, nah. If it's some BS that they got all their championships from cheating, it's some BS that we got a championship from cheating. So I got to keep it real. Like Marcus, you always talk about balls and stripes. Hey,
like I said,
over here is cheating over here.
Are an anomaly. You're an
That ain't gonna be the only thing you call me today.
Well,
but you're an anomaly. Like I said, you're an anomaly.
let's start the party. Since we starting the party. This is the political show, right? So I wanted to start the party off a little bit different. I wanted to talk about this situation right here. Because I when I first seen it, I thought it was weird, but I'm gonna let y'all hear. I'm gonna let the world hear it.
I see lots of folks really still loving Obama, and I be like, still? And even if like you have an affinity towards Obama, when I see people, and when I say people, I'm talking about Questlove. I saw Questlove post something about Obama, and he was like, I've been seeing a lot of folks nitpicking Obama lately. And then I went to unfollow him, but he had already unfollowed me. So I don't know how at this point in this time people are still calling, like a friend of mine still like, but Obama and Michelle are my forever FLOTUS. And I'm like, why? Things like Obama did more specifically for us. Please tell me, what did Obama do specifically for Black people? Please, somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. Please. Somebody tell me. Yeah. Somebody tell me. Yeah. Obama was a great orator. He inspired many people with his presence, but that does not avail him of critique and talking about his bad choices and policies. Inspired them to do what? What did Obama inspire them to do with his presence? Aspire to be a part of establishments? He never spoke about reparations. He never spoke about police protections, about securing police protections for Black people, or just for anyone, honestly. Just like qualified immunity should be removed in general. He said we couldn't have Medicare for all because the insurance companies provide jobs. Like, what are we, like, at some point, your politics has to come beyond identity. And that is what so many of us are stuck in. The identity politics, which literally is just, because they look like me. Representation is not a generic concept. So should we be proud that Clarence Thomas is on the Supreme Court? Should we?
Lord
I
have
added that
mercy.
a little bit better. BJ gonna kill me for that one. Frederick, I'll let you go ahead and start that one off.
Oh, okay. We go. So to her point, why do people still love Obama? Why people? I'm like, well, for starters, that's the Jackie Robinson, right? Like I know when we talk about people breaking ground, especially with black people breaking ground, the bench to go to is Jackie Robinson, right? Like he broke. So that was the first and thus far the only person in the White House that quote unquote looks like us. And then when you have it as a person that is, as a person, regardless of his politics, his political party, just as a person, if you just met that man at a party, that's a good person. He's a good man, right? Like you talk to him, he's a handsome brother, charismatic, charming, like a good person. So it's like, all right, we got one of us in there, and he's somebody that we can be proud of as a person. Like with the current president, like you can't be proud of him as a person. Like I don't care how you feel about him, even if you support this man, if you're being honest with yourself, you'd be like, why is this dude talking, right? Like he's an embarrassment. But with Obama, it's like, okay, this is somebody who looks like us, as she talked about, just identity politics, but that matters. Like the president that we have now, he is president because of identity politics. He resonates with a certain group of people, no matter what he does, how bad it is, whatever, they're going to rock with him because they believe that he's one of them. So to turn around and look at us, be like, yo, we're going to rock with Obama because he is one of us. and act like we're the only ones that do that is crazy to me. And then as far as like, well, what did he do for black people and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, first of all, he was president of the United States. Like the president ain't going to change the country. Like people act, I think a lot of times people over exaggerate how much power the president has. Like Obama was not going to be elected and be like, all right, cool. Everybody listen up. I'm taking care of the blackies and the rest of y'all can go to hell because I'm getting us reparations. No, you can only do what the president can do. So did he fall short on some things that he probably could do better on? Of course, say that about anybody. But as far as him being the first one of us and representing us well, being able to say like, look, for everybody that thinks that black people are just ignorant and thugs and blah, blah, all the negative stereotypes, we can point to somebody and be like, look, he is the opposite of all that. And he is us. So it's blatantly obvious why people would still have love, respect, and adoration for that man and his family.
Oh, Lord have mercy, man. Where do I even begin?
Good job, Fred.
To Frederick's point, to elaborate on his point, presidents are not kings. Okay, that's the main thing. Presidents are not kings. During the campaign, people make lots of promises, and they say a lot. I'm going to change this, and I'm going to change that. And the bottom line is, we have three separate but equal branches of government: the judiciary, the Supreme Court, i.e., Supreme Court, legislative, Congress, both houses of Congress that pass laws, and the executive branch. You can't, under normal circumstances, that's getting tested to its limit right now. Under normal circumstances, presidents just can't do things on a whim, just invade countries and take their oil, take their ships, kidnap their president under normal circumstances. People, they forget that. And generally, they try to go against everything that you try to do. First off, Obama should have another Supreme Court justice. Merrick Garland should be on the Supreme Court right now. And if you want to know why a lot of Barack Obama's policies did not pass through, check one, Mr. Turtleface, Mitch McConnell, who tried to sabotage everything that he tried to do. Lindsey Graham, okay? People like that. Barack Obama is light years different than Trump. He just is. And this goes back to the point, Lyndon B. Johnson had said something years ago. If you can convince the lowest white man that he's better than the best black man, you can keep him enslaved forever. And that's what you have. You really have people right now that look at Donald Trump and think that he's when you listen to this man talk, he's a buffoon. He's a buffoon. This is a man who was handed everything to him, millions of dollars to start businesses. They failed. He collapsed he bankrupted a casino. A casino. Like, do you know how hard it is to bankrupt the casinos? Trump Airline, Trump Steaks. And he was handed this. And Barack Obama had to walk the straight and narrow. He had to walk the straight and narrow. Did he make mistakes? Did he do things that I didn't agree with? Yes. There's some things that he did that I didn't totally agree with. One, we were coming out of a recession after 2 terms of George Bush, which always happens after Republicans take office. Republicans are bad for the economy. Trickle down economics does not work. That goes all the way back to Reagan. That was his big thing, trickle down economics. If you give the rich tax breaks, they'll create more jobs and they'll hire more people. That's not how it works. What happens is they take that money, the savings from the taxes, and they go buy a yacht or they put it on offshore accounts. So that's really what it boils down to. Presidents ain't kings. Just like what Frederick was saying. We should make Cadillac the new official automobile of black people and give every black 40 acres 40 acres and a mule and give them a Cadillac. That was not going to happen. Presidents ain't kings. That's in short. That's what it all boils down to. Presidents ain't kings. That's it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dennis?
Chocolate girl, what you gonna do, babe?
Oh, I was waiting for you to go, but you know, I've been hearing this argument for so long. I just aggressively roll my eyes when I hear it. It's disappointing when I hear it because the person who's saying it is just displaying how totally ignorant they are and unaware of how anything civic-wise works. People do not understand the role of the federal government. They don't understand the three branches of government. They don't understand anything. And she's as smart as she is, because she is smart in a lot of ways. She really is. And I listen to her a lot. I don't agree with, I probably say I'm about 50% with her, like 50, maybe lower, that I agree with her. But I listen to her because she represents to me a faction of people who really believe they know it all. And they're very annoying to those of us who do. That's the reason why I listen to her. Because you got to know what these ignorant people are thinking, because they're going to drive narratives. When I am encountered by people who say this, I think I'm going to start using that presidents not kings. That's a good way of just saying it in one sentence. But what I usually tell them is, if President Obama were to do and declare the things you say, he would have been dead in 6 months, period. 6 months I give him, if that long, because you would have seen even people in the Secret Service turn on him. That's what I believe. They would not be able to protect him from the rage that would go across this world, this country, if he had said what was suggested earlier. Hey, forget all of y'all. I'm taking care of black folks. They're going to get their 40 acres mule and a Cadillac and free education and blah, blah. Oh, my God. You think MAGA's crazy now? It would have been even worse. That's one thing. Second, that's not his role. People do not even understand what the president, you know, people talk about, well, he promised. Obama never promised. Y'all got to remember, the man is an attorney by trade. He knows what to say, what words to use, and what words not to use. He would say, I've watched his speeches, you know, religiously. I still do go back and watch some of them. And he always says, when he's giving these speeches about hope and all this stuff, he's like, there's ways we can solve this problem X. I propose this is what we can do. And he would say what he would propose. And he proposed the things he said he was going to propose. But the problem is, we who voted to put him in, many help to. Did I disappear, y'all?
You're breaking up.
You're breaking up.
You still there?
Yeah, she's breaking up. I think she might have to leave out and come back. She's breaking up. Crazy. I appreciate it.
I just want to
Did I freeze?
Okay. Oh,
yes, you frozen.
Sharon, why
Did
don't
I
you go out and
freeze?
come back in?
No,
Yeah.
you good now, but I mean, you might need to go out and come back in.
Did I freeze before?
Yeah.
T-Pain and Chris Brown frozen.
Right.
I'll go out and come back in. I'll go out and come back in.
All right, Fred, what you was gonna say?
While she's doing that, I want to pick up back off what she just said. Like, talking about like if Obama would have just came in and just been like, okay, I'm only going to do for black people. We literally know what that looks like. If you look at Trump's first term and then the first year of this term, it's very evident who he's working for, what sect of the population he's working for, and how was that being received for everybody that is not a part of that sect. And keep in mind, the sect that he is working for is the status quo, is the majority, is white people. So you have a white man who has made it very clear that I am here to do the bidding and act upon the will of a certain group of white people, and that's not going over. So imagine a black man coming in and be like, yo, I'm going to only work for 13% of the population. I'm going to only work for 40 million people out of 320 something million people. If we see Trump working exclusively for a certain group of white people, and that ain't going over well, to Sharon's point, what do you think would have happened if a black man would have came in and been like, yo, I'm just taking care of 13% and the rest of y'all can just wait? You know what I'm saying? Like, so people that want to call out Obama on that is like, yo, we literally see what it looks like when a president only focuses on one group of people and how that doesn't go. And that's a group of people that has the power and the control in this country. So imagine somebody working for a group of people that America has never given a damn about. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, okay. Can y'all hear me now?
We hear you great. One last thing I want to jump on this with Frederick. Being the president of the United States is like being the president of a elementary school. You know, when they have the class president, it sounds prestigious, but in a way, you don't really have that much power like that. The class president can say, we're going to have pizza every day and ice cream for breakfast and 2-hour-long recess, but you're not going to get that. We're going to have 2-hour-long recess and ice cream for breakfast, and we get to leave at noon. We don't have to stay till 3 o'clock. You can promise all of that, but that's not the way it works. The principal just going to shut all that down. So that's really what it all boils down to. You even presidents, under most circumstances, not so much nowadays, have to answer to somebody. That's just
exactly.
I don't remember. I don't know what the last thing you heard me say. What's the last thing you heard me say?
That you were disappointed in this lady that made that video. That you agree with 50% of what she said.
Oh, that's the last thing y'all heard. Wow, I said a lot.
That's what I think I heard.
Well. Anyway, what I'm saying is President Obama, the president, cannot be king and unilaterally make decisions for this nation. So it doesn't matter what he wants. What matters is what he can get done. And as Marcus mentioned, Mitch McConnell and his henchmen vowed in the press conference that they will not support anything he does. They didn't even care what it is. If he proposed it, they were going to oppose it. And they had the votes to do it. So what happened? The only reason why the Affordable Care Act passed is because of Senator John McCain. His one vote, he flipped sides and voted with the Democrats to give us that. If it wasn't for him, it would not have passed. That's how serious they were about it. And anything that he proposed that would have benefited anybody but rich oligarchs, they opposed it. Which amounts to everything, because he didn't propose anything for rich oligarchs. So this is the reason why I have a problem with people say, what did he do specifically for Black people? Did it have to have Black people's name in it for it to benefit us? Did it have to only benefit us for you to consider that to be for us? Because he did a whole lot of things that benefited Black people in addition to others. Well, it has to be in addition to others. We're only 13% of the population. How much are you think it's going to just what's going to just impact us and nobody else? What?
Right.
Except reparations. And then people got to understand. People say reparations for people who are descendants of African descent. Do you know how many white people live in this country that are of African descent? Are they supposed to get reparations too? See, it's more nuanced than people want to think about. And you can't just say, well, black people, you have to have black skin to get these reparations. Really, this is the United States. We can't say that. That's just as bad as saying if you got white skin, only you can own property. It's just as bad. You don't solve wrong with wrong. And that's what people are missing. Plus, it's not his job. He is part of the executive branch. I implore people to go to the freaking library and go pick up a book that tells you how your government is structured and the role of each part of it. I did a Side Jawn last year on it. It was just me. It broke down every branch and what you do, what they don't do, and y'all still didn't listen.
No.
Didn't listen.
You know what else? You know what else would help them too?
Y'all gotta get this.
You gotta get it. Listen to sound advice. That's adorable.
Right.
Another thing too, if y'all don't want to listen to Side Jawn, I implore y'all to go back and listen to Schoolhouse Rock. They tell you how a bill is made. Too.
Real simple.
They need to. By the way, they need to go ahead and bring that back. I think something else we need to mention too. And look, a lot of times we don't like to criticize our heroes. Okay, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I love you, Mama. Recipe. Mm-hmm. I love you and what you represented. A lot of this is because of where we are right now. A lot of this is because of her. Because you kept holding on to that seat. Your health was deteriorating, and I'm not resigning. And Lindsey Graham, Lady Graham, she passed away right before Obama left office, and they were trying to send her replacement up. And as soon as she passed away, well, we don't have enough. We don't have enough time. We need to leave this seat for the next president, whoever it is, between Hillary and Trump at the time. But what was that? 2017, and she passed away, and Trump got that seat. He got that seat. So if she had stepped down earlier, which they had been imploring her, she was in and out the hospital. What's the split now in the Supreme Court? Like 7-3?
6-3.
6-3.
6-3.
And look, they still wouldn't have had the advantage, but that there is just like they have a super majority right now. I think people don't understand how serious the Supreme Court is, because presidents serve up to 8 years under normal circumstances, even though we have somebody now trying to talk about putting up merchandise for 2028 and all of that good stuff. They serve for 8 years. Supreme Court justices, in the words of the NWO back in the day with WCW, serve for life. For life. Okay. Clarence Thomas has been on the Supreme Court since Bush won. That's late 80s.
Even though he had that scam. Well, I ain't gonna say that.
So he's been. How old were you in 88, 89? That's how long he's been on the Supreme Court during the first Bush Senior's term.
Right.
You see Trump now putting these Supreme Court justices on. That's the other thing people don't really understand, like how critical this is. I don't like getting involved in politics. This man is putting people in their late 40s, early 40s, late 40s that's going to be Supreme Court justices until your kids are grandparents.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want to get involved.
I don't want to
get
involved.
They're involved. They're involed, Marcus. They're involved.
to pay are going to be your kids. And I know sometimes, and me and my brother Frederick, we talk about this. We have side conversations. I'm not going to divulge that, but this is serious stuff, man. This is what they're counting on is for us to become disinterested, for us to become so discouraged that we just totally withdraw. But understand this: when you withdraw, those 3Ks people, those neo-Nazis, all of these other people, they are invigorated. The Nick Fuenteses and the Steve Bannons, they go on the air every day, spewing their venom. I don't want to get involved. I done gave up. This is a test of wills. This is a test of wills. It's like a fight. Generally, the person who has the stronger will, anybody can go 2, 3, 4 rounds. Do you have the resolve and an intestinal fortitude for 12 to 15? Well, they don't fight 15 rounds no more. They do 12 now because they were killing each other in 15-round fights. A 12-round fight. Mike Tyson, that's why I used to get his he faded out. Just survive the first 3 or 4 rounds. Anybody can go 3 or 4 rounds. Do you have the stamina every day to deal with these people? And when you have a platform to oppose these people, because I don't vote. Well, guess who does vote? Those neo-Yahtzees. They vote.
That's exactly right.
The Proud Boys vote.
They vote.
The 3%ers, the Oath Keepers, they vote. I don't want to get involved. I'm done with it. I'm done with this system. Well, you sit back and one day when you wake up and they're like, oh, prima nocta, they've been reestablished, and report to the nearest farm so you could start your stint as a slave now because you were disinterested and because your stamina is gone. I will fight these people to the last breath, to my dying breath. My dad, he speaks, and he spoke in Clovis, my hometown, me and Frederick's hometown, on Martin Luther King Day, and that's what this is, a fight. You cannot just turn a blind eye and withdraw from this, because these people they're like, great, that's one less person that we got to oppose, because they are in this to win this, and you better be too.
Now, I've asked y'all this before, and I'm gonna ask y'all this again, okay? Is it possible? I'm gonna say to start with, is it possible for a nation to not be Democrat or Republican and really go independent?
No, not this one. Not in my lifetime. No, and it doesn't need to.
Because I'm just telling you from because I'm from my generation and down, their thing on Democrat and Republican is that, they're like Fred was saying earlier, they'll tell you the same lies all the time. What you want for your birthday? Oh, I want this, and you ain't never getting it. And they're just tired of be feeding the same lies all the time, and they're like, well, what if we just were our own party? Because we already know what Democrat and Republican is doing. And at times, it's like you don't even feel like voting for the Democrat, even though you're Democrat. You'd rather vote for the Republican. And at times, if you're a Republican, you might just want to vote Democrat. I've heard people say those things. But they was like, if we just put our own people out there and they actually, went through a belief that they believe in, independent, however that goes. I don't know.
Let me answer this one. Let me answer this one. Let me answer you. Let me tell you why I get so agitated when people ask me this stupid ass question. Because what it is you guys are not educating yourself. Not only are you not educating yourself on what's going on now, you're not educating yourself on what happened in history. That's the problem. And you're in a generation of people, millennials on down, who always feel like what we have is better than anything that y'all ever had. So I don't need to know your history, Gen Xer and baby boomer. All we care about is our stuff, and ours is better. And y'all got that so ingrained in your head, you can't even see that you're part of the problem. And all this, yeah, I would love it if we had more than just two parties. Oh, I would love it. And you can just have a buffet choice of people. If I want this, I can go to that party, that part. Oh, I would love it in utopia, but this ain't fucking utopia. This is the United States of America, and it's 2026. And you need to grow the hell up. You're not going to get everything nice and neat in a little package. The candidate is not going to be perfect and check every fucking box you have. And to expect it and demand it and to carry yourself into these rooms and discussions, downgrading people and putting down the Democrat and Republican parties system, the two-party system, without offering anything better, number one. And number two, you don't even know what the parties are. Because how can you be a person who is for diversity and freedom and equity and all of that and ever say, you know what, I might want to vote for this Republican candidate? Because that's not what they stand for. So if you around people, Dennis, who are having these conversations with you and they say to you, well, you know, I usually vote Democratic, but I don't know, I don't like him, I might want to vote for the no. That means you need to tell them to go to the library and pick up some damn encyclopedias and some books. Don't go online, don't go to YouTube, stay off YouTube and TikTok, get your ass in the library if you can find it. And read something. Read something incredible.
That specific situation that you just mentioned, that actually came from one of them Gen X's.
Here's the thing. People
wait a minute, say that again. Oh, wait, Mark. What you say?
Yeah, that came from one of them Gen X's. They were tired of the same old Democratic BS.
Oh yeah, I know. So they voted. Gen X's. That's my generation. I know some of them
voted for Republican.
And I had these discussions with them
that
too.
Threw me off. I was like, what? Yeah. I was like, yeah, I voted Republican.
I got
something for them too, but I'm gonna let Marcus go ahead. But I got something for them too, that you can tell them.
You know who's finding that out real quick? A lot of these minority Trumpers, they're finding that out real fast. These all my Cubans in Florida, how y'all living right now? Y'all doing the salsa? I will vote for Donald Trump. You dancing and having a good old time, and you're the first ones getting deported. Yesterday or the day before, black farmers. They had a black farmers, and there were grants promised to them, and they pulled up to the meeting for farmers. And they told them to leave. We ain't doing that DEI stuff no more. All my black Trumpers that are veterans. This man is erasing people out of history. Arlington National Cemetery, and this reminds me a lot of the movie Glory. One of my favorite movies is Glory. I don't know if y'all remember Glory with Denzel Washington, Matthew Broderick, and Denzel Washington's character, he was a little annoyed with the way things were going. I don't like the way things are, and I don't want to carry your flag. I don't want to do none of this. I don't want to be a part of this. He goes, well, you're a part of this. He goes, there ain't nobody going to win. He goes, this ain't going to go on forever. This is not going to go on forever, and you got to pick a side. You can't look. You ain't Switzerland, bro. You can't be neutral and stuff like that. Is this what we're doing over here? Are we perfect over here? No, we're not. But the alternative, the people that you're fighting against, those Confederates, if they have their way, well, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to carry your flag. I don't want to fight for you. The other side that we're opposing, as soon as this is over, they're going to have you back in the field. So you better hop on the program. Look. It's like you cannot be neutral in certain situations. Well, you know what? I don't like Darth Sidious and I don't like Darth Vader and I don't like the Empire, but I don't know that much about Yoda. I don't like Yoda. The Jedi did some bad things too. No, bro. You're just like Sharon was saying. Both. You're not going to get a perfect candidate that agrees on you on whatever percent. I don't understand how it's so when people love these movies, they love Harry Potter. I don't like Voldemort, he who should not be named. But you know what, Harry Potter, he does some stuff I don't like too, so I can't deal with neither one of them. You know what, I don't like Sauron and Lord of the Rings, but you know what, them damn hobbits, I don't know about them either. You got to pick a side. You cannot be neutral in this. And again, these are the same people that you're rolling with that think Charlie Kirk is the equivalent of Martin Luther King. They really do believe that. So you cannot stand on the sidelines and say, well, I don't want to get involved. I don't want to be a part of this. You just can't. You're going to have to pick, or you could just sit there and let these people do whatever the hell they want to do. It's a lost cause. I'm done with this. Well, stay neutral. And they're still working on their cause over there. So stay neutral and see how it works out for
you. Can I say one more on that? Oftentimes when we get real and try to tell people, explain people the history and why we are so up in arms when we see these things happening now, because we know what they mean. We know what this is signaling coming down the pike, and we try to tell people, what do these people say to us? Oh, you're just trying to scare us. You're fear-mongering us. That's just a fear-mongering tactic, scare tactic. You know what the word tactic means? You know what fear is? Yeah, we're overreacting. Well, do you think we're overreacting now? Do you still think we're overreacting? This man is actually sitting around here not following the law, period. He's just running ramshot all over democracy and law and order, but he's supposedly the law and order president. So are we still just doing scare tactics, y'all? Do y'all believe us now that we know what we're talking about? The man is literally trying to put us back on plantations. You all keep looking at Trump like a buffoon from The Apprentice. You got to understand who his henchmen are. Right? Miller. He's with Stephen Miller, who is the biggest Yahtzee on earth. I mean, that man is a white supremacist to the hilt. Him and his friend Peter Thiel from South Africa, billionaire.
Elon Musk from South Africa.
Elon Musk, same thing. South Africa. That's who he hangs with. That's who's in his club. That's who's in his ear. That's who's dictating these policies through the Heritage Foundation, or whatever you call it. That's what they're the ones that he's getting all this from. And you gonna sit up here and tell me you don't want to be involved in politics? You don't want to pay attention? You need to pay attention. And let me tell you, I go out every week. I go out and do line dancing. I'm in a club, right? And we go out, we line dance. We have so much fun. It's the funnest thing on earth, right? But then when I leave and I come home, I turn pull up my phone and see what Mark is saying or Frederick's saying today. What happened? I'm serious. I go check y'all pages every day, just about. I go to your page, look down your timeline and see what them crazy fools saying to you too. And I look at that to keep up with what's going on, because I don't watch the TV that much anymore, because I just ended up throwing something at my TV one time. I almost broke my TV. So I don't want to do that. So anyway, I do this because I need an outlet. You need to have an outlet, but you can't be blind to what's going on. Don't just do the outlet and not pay attention. You got to still pay attention. This is your life, because let me tell you this last thing, and I'm gonna let you go. Well, this last thing right now. Black people especially, who are out here and you have your TikTok shop and your Amazon shop and You got your online business and you're making money hand over fist. You have your YouTube channel. You get all these followers. And so you're getting $7,000 a month and stuff because of all your activity online. Guess what happens when they shut your internet shit down? All that's over. And don't think they're not planning on doing it. That's the reason why they're trying to buy up all this stuff.
TikTok.
Right? That's why they bought TikTok. So while you're thinking you don't have to worry about it because you're good, you're doing your podcast, your network, you got your shop, and you don't have to be involved and you don't have to worry about it because you're making your money and you good. When they keep you from being able to make the money, what you gonna do? And when they have this as a goal, you guys read something. Because right now they're on page, what was it? Page 876 out of the 932 pages. They have gotten done in a year, in 3 weeks. 99% of what they said 90% of what they said they're gonna do. Right in our faces. They playing in our faces, y'all. Aren't y'all mad about? I would be mad. I don't understand why people are not mad about getting played in their face. They're playing you in your face. They're telling you, I'm gonna start over here with Jose and Maria, but we coming from you. This is a dry run. We practicing. Because we want to see how the collective America is going to respond to us doing this so that we can counter plan. And then when we move on to you, we're going to have our plan down so tough, there ain't going to be shit you can do about it. That's what they're doing. It's written down. They're doing this, y'all.
And what you was talking about, what was that called? Project
2025.
Project 2025. Okay.
They tried to tell you,
they put it in a book and you didn't read
it. You fell in the open book test. That's what I tell them. You fell in the open book test. Here's the plan in a nutshell, folks. The majority of this country by the year 2050, okay, this is a long-term play, but the majority of this country by the year 2050 is Latinos, okay? It ain't black folks, it's Latinos. So that's why they're going so hard after Latinos, okay? Spanish-speaking people, Hispanics, Latinos. Deport them. Who are they going after? The Cubans, the South Americans, Mexicans, all of that. Get rid of these people. Okay. Here's the other thing: the total ban on abortion. The women that are having the most abortion are not blacks and Latinos. The people who have the most abortions are white women. Okay. So if you do that, so white people's number is down. So if we get rid of the Latinos and the people from these brown countries with black and brown folks, if we get rid of them and then we bring our numbers up with the total ban on abortion, which they got passed with when they overturned Roe versus Wade. Okay, now we get our numbers back up. We get rid of the black and brown people and send them back to their country. We turn it into a police state where there's no accountability, and police officers, ICE agents, Border Patrol, they have total immunity from prosecution. And there you have it right there, folks. You're not paying attention. You're not listening to stuff. And I implore you, Marcus, I don't want to deal with this. It's a lost cause, blah, blah, blah. They are counting on that. They're counting. That's great. That's one less person that we got to. And it is taxing. Marcus, all you do is talk about politics. I have people come to my page. Marcus, I used to follow you, Marcus, but you're too political for me. Yeah, you're welcome to see yourself out. I do a football show, but I also be trying to spit some knowledge to y'all because I'm a little bit older. And I believe the OGs, the older people, it is our calling. It's our responsibility. It's our responsibility to educate these people. It's our calling. That's our charge. But you're spitting foolishness and following Nicki Minaj and the Tim Scotts. All you're talking about tokens. Yesterday with the whole monkey ape thing, Oh, I'm surprised. It's the most racist thing I've ever seen. Tim Scott from South Carolina. They love the only black Republican in the Senate, and you're surprised at the racism because you're an enabler. You're complicit in all of this. And now, he should offer them an apology. Yesterday he finally admitted, he goes, you know what? Yeah, I did it. It wasn't no staffer. I did it. Yeah. Are you gonna apologize? No, I didn't do nothing wrong. So you better wake up. You better get off the fence. You better get engaged and involved. And in the words of John Lewis, rest in peace, get in some good trouble. It's okay, some good trouble. Martin Luther King went to jail. Jesus went to jail. Malcolm X went to jail. So that made the thing about it, a lot of y'all are comfortable. You're comfortable. You think that because you can go eat at a restaurant, because you can drink out of a water fountain, because you can move with some type of freedom, somewhat, that we're there, that we're in Canaan. But this is an ongoing battle. This is an ongoing battle. What do they call it? The never-ending battle for truth and justice. That's Superman. I can't fix the world, but every day I go out, I put my cape on, I go out there and I do what I got to do. So stay engaged, stay involved, stay educated. That's all that I can tell you.
It's funny that you just quoted Superman, because the quote that we need to is Bane. Remember when Bane was beating the dog shit out of Batman, and what did he say? Mm-hmm. Victory has defeated you. To your point, people are comfortable. It's laughable to me when people always talk about, oh, this is the greatest nation ever and blah blah blah. As long as America can point to a place that's worse, and there are umpteen countries in this world that are visibly, like, you ain't got to look for it, you could just look at it, worse, are we all right? Like you said, they're comfortable. They don't realize it's the frog in the boiling water. This nation is full of frogs. The fire been on, the water been getting hot. But we look over here, Venezuela, or where they always, go to North Korea, go to Venezuela, go to Iraq, go to look at all these other countries, and we see their water's boiling. So we don't notice that our water getting hotter. Because you notice they don't ever tell you look at Denmark, or look at the Netherlands, or look at Belgium. They always tell you to look at third world countries, people that were better on. Like, somebody did a video probably 15 years ago, and I share it every time it comes up on my memory. It's talking about America's a bad boyfriend. America's that boyfriend that tell you, like, what you mean you gonna leave me? Where you finna go? Ain't nobody gonna love you like I love. Nobody wants you. Nobody's gonna take care of you. Look what I do for you, girl. Where are you going? Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, there's better out there. We can be better. We can do better. But to your point, Marcus, people are comfortable. Oh, well, I can still, like you said, I can still do this. I still have these freedoms. I still have these freedoms. Not realizing that you don't really have freedoms. You have quid pro quo liberties. If you didn't realize it before, what you should have, Second Amendment. Really? The right to bear arms. You ain't never had, if you are alive today, you've never had the right to bear arms. What you have is the right to ask the government for permission. Because if I need milk, I take my money, I go to the store, I buy milk. I ain't got to fill out no paperwork. I don't need no permit. If I put my milk in my car and bring it home, I don't need no paperwork for that. Where can you go and legally buy a gun without getting the government involved, without asking for permission? And then you want to take your gun and put it in your car? Do you have permission for that? Oh, you got your gun in your car in El Paso, Marcus, but you want to drive to Illinois and drive through a bunch of states? Do you have permission for that? You don't have the right to bear arms. And then you out in the streets with your firearm that you purchased legally, that you have the permits for, but because you have that permit, that firearm, that your Second Amendment right tells you can have, you still end up being shot while you on the ground 10, 15 times, or how many times they shot that boy.
Yep.
But people ain't paying attention. Like you said, they're comfortable. Oh, well, I got it better off than this people. Women, anytime women talk about the things that this country, the areas this country falls down. Oh, well, women in Saudi Arabia. Bitch, we're not living in Saudi Arabia. That's terrible. But I live in Texas, which is in the United States. And as a woman in Texas, I don't have the right to do whatever I want to do with my own body. That's a problem. Especially when every time you turn around, you tell me that I live in the greatest nation on earth, but I can't go to a doctor and make a medical choice about my own body.
Right.
The fuck? But like, yeah, People are comfortable and they don't realize how bad things actually are, how close we are to the tipping point of things getting worse. And then I don't know if it was Marcus or if it was Sharon, y'all mentioned fear tactics. The man we have in the White House is in the White House because of fear tactics. Go back to his first campaign. We're going to build a wall. We're going to make Mexico pay for it. What are we building the wall for? Why? Because we got all these brown people in this country. Oh, they're not sending their best. They're sending murderers and rapists. Oh, my God. Fear the brown people. Find any Republican talking about immigration and check your watch and see how long till they bring up Lake and Riley. It's always Lake and Riley, Lake and Riley. Oh, what happened to Lake and Riley, Lake and Riley, Lake and Riley? Okay, cool. You realize that statistically, any woman that is brutally murdered or like that, most likely her attacker is going to be somebody she knows, right? Somebody she's in a relationship with, yada, 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 whatever. Like, okay, yes, what happened to Lake and Riley was terrible. I've never seen anybody say anything otherwise. And yes, the person that murdered her should not have been in this country. But we want to talk about women that are victims of violent crime. What percentage of those attackers were born and bred right here in the good old US of A? But you don't hear them going, oh, we got to go out here and round up all the white men that's out here killing women. No, we're going to demonize a group of people. It's the same tactic that's been used forever. You take a group of people, you demonize them, you vilify them. So that way when something happens to them, and the reason why I'm doing that in quotations is because it ain't something happening to them. When you do something to them, John Q. Public's going to be like, well, they kind of deserved it. So now you can go around and round up brown people that have nothing to do with anything here legally. Here trying to go through the systems and do things the right way, whatever. Maybe they are here illegally, but they ain't doing no harm. They out here working hard, doing this and that. But you round them up. Well, they shouldn't have done. And there's no empathy. There's no sympathy. You treat them however you want to treat them. You round them up. You put them on planes. You send them to countries that they're not even from. You joke about building concentration camps so they can be eaten by alligators. And nobody's like, oh, wait, that's terrible. Why? Because you don't see these people as human. You fear these people. John Mayer said it best. When they own the information, they can bend it all they want. I'm going to say this. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. Some people aren't going to like it. But if we're being honest, the most dangerous creature to ever inhabit this continent has been white men.
Damn.
But who told you to fear the savage, the Indian? White men. Who told you to fear black people? White men. Who told you that the Asians were a problem? White men. Who told you that now the Latino Hispanic population is a problem? White men. Who told you that, the gay people out? They told you to fear everybody else because they own the information. They can bend it all they want. What they should have been telling you is, hey, you know how we almost slaughtered the indigenous people? You might want to fear us. You know how we put black people through hell and back? You might want to fear us. You know how we killed all the damn bison? You might want to fear us. You know how our beloved bald eagle that we almost drove to extinction because we poisoned them? You might want to fear us. They ain't tell you to fear them because they own the information, so they bend it how they want. And they tell you who to fear. And so this man in the White House has been constantly telling you who to fear. And as much of a reprehensible piece of whatever he is, I will give him credit. The man knows how to con. He came in, he identified his mark, and he has been working that mark for 15 years now. Middle white America. Fear the immigrant. We got to get rid of the immigrants, to Marcus's point. Because you know who's going to take over as the majority in this country? It's going to be them. So we need to fear. You need to fear them. Don't embrace your Latino Hispanic brother that's never done anything to you. Nah, you need to fear them. You know why? Because there was a time when you looked around this country and yeah, you saw black and brown faces, you saw Asian faces, whatever. But the only voice that mattered was the voice of us, white people. The majority of the people that you saw was like I'll be watching movies from the 80s and you look and it's crazy how it's just like, damn. It ain't nothing but white people in this movie. It's some people sprinkled in, but everybody with a speaking role in this movie is white. And now you look around, like I was saying earlier, you turn on the TV, you got little mixed kids in the Cheerios commercial. The Little Mermaid is black, this and that. And they see this and they're losing their grip on white supremacy. That's what Make America Great Again is. Again, back in the time when we were the only voices that mattered. Yeah, you can talk. It's like parents. Okay, where are we going for vacation? Everybody get a say so, but at the end of the day, I'm the one driving this car. I want to go to the Grand Canyon. That's great that you want to go to Disney, and that's great that you want to. I've heard what you all have to say, but we're going to the Grand Canyon. Why? Because my voice is the only voice that matters. And that's what they want to get back to. And that's who he is playing. And that's why when people are like, well, I can't believe it. No matter what he does, they're going to follow him. It doesn't matter what he does. As long as he has got them convinced that he is their best shot at this country going back to what it used to look like, it don't matter if he wants to grab, if he sexually assaults women. It doesn't matter if he rapes little girls. It doesn't matter if he does this, that, and the third. If he is going to get us back to white supremacy, we rocking with this dude. Don't matter where he leading us to, we following him because we want to get back to the place where we don't ever have to see live from the Oval Office a brown face again.
I have a question. With that, I have a question. We got to move on to the next video in a minute.
I'm trying to.
But listen, what do you say to black people who support him?
Ooh, this is gonna be a long ad. We ain't getting that next video.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes or less.
All skin folk ain't kin folk.
I was just about to say that. Don't argue.
I personally say
I got a real.
Y'all supposed to say it. They dumbasses.
Well, I was going to say it a little bit more elaborate. I'll just say this: never argue with somebody who Harriet Tubman would have left behind. That's my answer.
Damn.
Say it again.
Never argue with somebody who Harriet Tubman would have left behind.
I'm gonna amend that real quick because she'd have shot him. Not left behind. We got to shoot your ass because as soon as we run off over there, you going right to the big house to tell Master which way we went. So yeah, never argue with somebody that Harriet Tubman would have shot in the goddamn face and kept it pushing. 100%, Marcus.
That's it.
100%.
The Tim Scotts of the world, the Byron Donalds, the Amber Roses, the Nicki Minaj's. It's a lost cause. You don't see this
the Nicki Minaj thing don't surprise me because, like we watched the video earlier, she was one of the ones that said, you know, Obama ain't do nothing for us, and she was all hype on the Mitt Romney BS as well. So her being with Trump does not surprise me at all.
Here's the thing: Nicki Minaj hits herself. Look, she needed something. Nicki Minaj is basically just another Melania. I need something. You can do it for me. I'm gonna come there. I need immigration status. I need my brother pardoned, and who is it? Her husband, whoever the two sexual offenders in her life. I need 2 pardons and citizenship.
Oh, that's
and so
her
she
husband.
was like, this motherfucker might be able to get it from me. I'm gonna do that. So
all right, let me get to this video. That's her husband that she's talking about. Let me get to this video.
Yeah.
Well, hey, motherfuckers. Now, I wasn't gonna dignify this shit with a response to it because it's just evidence and proof that Obama lives rent-free in this ugly bitch's head. When you have a motherfucker that might have all the money he want, but ain't happy, all they do is try to tear other motherfuckers down so that they can be on the same level. Newsflash, Cheetolini, bitch, you will never be on Obama's level. You don't have the class that Obama has. You don't have the intelligence that Obama has. And there's another thing that Obama has that you don't have. A clean motherfucking criminal record. He ain't no motherfucking pervert. He ain't no pedophile that has been mentioned over 38,000 times in these motherfucking Epstein files. You can do whatever the fuck you want to change the narrative, but we all know that you are a president pedo.
First of all,
Well said. That was well said. That was well said. I think that was well said.
I love him, man, especially when he calls him Cheetolini. Oh my God, it just cracks me up, Cheetolini. But what he said is really on point. Obama lives rent free in this man's head. He is obsessed with him. He messages about him on Truth Social all the time. Mm-hmm. Obama running around living his life. He ain't even thinking about him. And he always trying to say something about Obama all the time. But y'all know this is just a distraction. All of this is a distraction to keep you not thinking about the Epstein files.
That's all it is.
That's all it is. That's why he decided to do whatever it took to get back in office.
Are these the longest lasting files in history?
No, I'm saying he did everything that he could to get back in office. Lie, cheat, steal didn't matter because of the Epstein files. That's what this is all about. He don't care about this damn country. It's all about him.
If Kamala Harris was the president right now, he would be knee deep in legal cases, and he might be heading to jail. That's why he ran for. That's why he ran this time. He knew that if he lost, that he was going to prison. And he made a deal with the devil, with Elon Musk, who fronted all this money for him. And we talk about opportunists. You talked about Nicki Minaj a little bit, Frederick. Nicki Minaj, she's an opportunist, but so is Trump. All of his relationships, all of them are transactional. Mm-hmm. You back my campaign, Elon, I'll make you director of Doge. You can go in there. His companies were pending litigation. Okay. I'll give you tax breaks for your rockets and all of this good stuff. That's all that this was. So here's what we got to understand, though, and I caution people with this. Trump is not the epitome of health, right? He's not the epitome of health. He's one cheeseburger away from the shadow realm. Okay. This is why they're trying to speed along this agenda, because when you look at him, you can just tell that, the man he's not in good health. He's a reanimated corpse, a morbidly obese, reanimated corpse. They don't have a guy who's a successor to him. JD Vance has the personality of an eggplant. Okay. Stephen Miller is really the mastermind behind this, but he doesn't have the persona or the look, the persona, the charisma to pull all of this out. So before these midterms, I'm going to call my shot. I believe in calling my shots for stuff. Things are going to get a whole lot more heated. This man has joked about taking over elections, that in the Constitution it says the states run the elections. He sees that most likely there is going to be a blue wave for the midterms. So as we get closer to November with the midterms, things will get a whole lot worse. So I'm cautioning you all now, those that don't vote, those that don't get involved, those that want to be detached, those that are lethargic, I implore you, we got to make it so overwhelming in the midterms that there's no way that they can cheat. Stay involved. Get involved with your local governments. That's the other thing too. People, you better look at your sheriffs and judges and stuff like that. Things that you can control, and you better stay involved with this, because things are about to. As he sees power slipping away, you're gonna see more border patrol in cities. You might see tanks rolling down the street. And Frederick, to respond to what you said, the bad boyfriend. I understand what they're saying to a point, and you said the comparisons to North Korea and stuff like that. But in North Korea, we could not be having a show like this.
Right. Yeah.
So again, when we say this country is not perfect, and no country is. Even in Denmark, there's stuff over there. Yeah, they got free healthcare and stuff like that, and that's great. But there's things there that I'm sure if you ask them things that they don't like about Denmark, that they will say. But the fact that we're able to have this, type of forum and this platform where we're able to, have a civilized conversation, that shows you where we're at. And there's people that want to take this away. They want to take this away. The late night shows where they're talking bad about him, he wants to take that away. Oh, I'll take away your TV rights, FCC rules, or whatnot. So again, we're in a time right now. We're in a critical juncture in time right now where we have to fight. They tried to take Jimmy Kimmel off the air. North Korea, you can't even have internet. That's a death sentence. So yeah, again, there's things in this country that that are bad, but it's still the best thing smoking. And I'll die on that hill, because I done been to other places. I done been to Afghanistan, I done been to Iraq, where they're still stoning people, where they throw homosexuals off of buildings. So when I hear people making disparaging remarks, and we've had this conversation, making disparaging remarks about this country, if you think it's that bad, take off and just travel the world a little bit. Hell, I don't even like the bread in some other countries. Stale ass bread. I don't like their milk. Their toilet paper is trash. Travel around the world. If you think this country is so just unbearable, go visit. Stop what you're doing and travel and see some other places. And I promise you, you'll be coming back here and you'll be like, Brittany Griner, all that shit she was talking. Brittany Griner, when she was over in Russia, and she, don't y'all forget about me. Don't forget. But it was real bad. You didn't have nothing bad to say then when you was over in Russian prison. In Russian prison, don't nobody want to go to jail in Mexico. Don't nobody want to go to jail in Mexico. Yeah.
That was the point that I was making, is that they talk about how bad it is in these countries to keep people comfortable. Like, okay, to keep people like, okay, don't try to improve America. Look, America is so much better than these other countries, to your point, which you're correct. But it's like they say it in a way to discourage you from being like, okay, yes, America is better than a lot of these other countries, but we still have stuff to work on. They don't want us to do we still have stuff to work on. They want to be like, okay, America's better than North Korea, Iraq, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So just sit back and chill and enjoy what you got. That's the point I was making.
No, what I'm saying is, seeing that,
we still have things to work on. So that was the point.
Seeing that, and that's what I'm talking about. Travel around a little bit. Seeing that and being in situations that should reinvigorate you when you come back here and be like, we ain't ever. What did Kamala say? We ain't ever going back.
Right.
That should reinvigorate. My main thing
is like, nah, just sit here and be complacent because you got it so good. Just be grateful that you got it so good. And what are you trying to make things better for? Like, it's good.
Yeah.
It could be like that.
Yes.
That you mentioned.
Go ahead.
Well, not because when you said
what I'm saying, my main thing though is the thing that I'm trying to press. The main gist of what I'm trying to say is we cannot become detached. It's a lost cause. It's hopeless. It's not. This is a 15-round fight. We done been punched in the mouth a little bit. We're battered and bruised. We looking like Rocky getting beat up by the Russian. And you have to persevere. You cannot just be quitting on your stool. No mas, Roberto Duran sitting on your stool. You gotta have the stamina, because once again, these people, they're in their cause. They're willing to die for their cause to go back and take you back, not you personally, take us back to a place, and we cannot become detached. We cannot become detached. We cannot become lethargic. We cannot become, it's a lost cause. I'm done dealing with this. No, that should give you even more energy to oppose these people, because they're gonna fight for what they want. We got to have fighters over here.
Real quick before Sharon jumps in, Marcus, you said about how Elon backed Trump's campaign, and here's something that nobody ever talks about, and this is one reason why I think a lot of people are just disheartened with the Democratic Party. Elon did not back Trump's campaign. My man literally came in and rigged the election for it, and he said, I can think of 2 instances on the top of my head where Elon has said that publicly, and I can think of 4 instances on my head where Trump has said it publicly that, Elon, he came in and he's a whiz with those computers, and we won. Elon literally came in and was like, look, I'm going to rig this election for you. And then to your point, Marcus, and in turn, you're going to pull me to the head of Doge, and I'm going to use Doge, and I'm going to go in there and finagle everything and make a clear path for me. And it's crazy that it does not get talked about enough that these people they have literally both admitted that Elon rigged that election for Kamala. Because how many instances do we have where you have a whole region where every Democrat on the ballot won that region, but then nobody voted for Kamala? Where they do that at? You done voted for every single
North Carolina. It happened here.
Presidential candidate, nobody voted for. Come on now.
It happened here. This is one of the places where that happened. And that's how I knew it was bogus.
Yeah.
We won the governor, lieutenant governor, the attorney general, the head of the secretary of state, and the head of public instruction. But those are the 5 most powerful positions in North Carolina. all Democrats, all one. Now, our legislature is Republican controlled. But these 5 powerful things were all Democrat, but voted for Trump.
Exactly.
I'm not buying it.
Exactly. Like where they do that at? Where you gonna go all down the ticket and vote
see,
Democrat?
what happened was the reason why it's so obvious is because Trump got greedy. You know, he didn't want to just beat her. He wanted to humiliate her, right? So in order to humiliate her, he had Elon make him win by a landslide. That's the reason why when you watch these political shows, they're always talking about how Trump's numbers and support rose across every segment. Even though 92% of black women didn't vote for him and voted for her. I got it. But every other major demographic increased in percentage of voting for him. And that's the reason why he had it done that way, because of his ego. It wasn't enough for him to just beat her. That's what makes it so obvious. There's a place in New York that's like that. The county ain't voted Republican in 50 years, ever. All of a sudden, not one vote in the whole county for Kamala? No. That's still in the courts right now. It's going to come out. It's going to come out. As long as we do not give up and do not give in, it's going to come out. Our judges, the judges that were not appointed by Republicans that are still out here serving, are our last line of defense. And we have to keep on plugging away and insisting that they do their job. What we're seeing now, though, is several Republicans are flipping the script now. You're finally starting. This is the reason why I keep saying to people, we have to keep talking about it and stop talking about how ain't nothing going to change and the Democrats are not doing enough. Yeah, I don't think they're doing enough either. Okay. But we don't have to sit around and keep talking about it. What we have to keep doing is what they're doing in Minnesota. Yeah, nothing's changing right this minute, but this is what we were talking about before the show. You have to keep going, because this is not something that's going to happen overnight. It's chipping away at it little by little. When I saw Senator Tom Tillis, who I can't stand, he's a senator from North Carolina, one of the biggest Trump supporters of all time. And now he has flipped the script on Trump, but he at the same time decided he's not going to run for re-election. See, he had to do that first before he could flip the script, because if he decided to run for re-election,
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah, he would have gotten destroyed if he decided to run for re-election. But make no mistake, he's still a Republican. He still ain't for us. And that's what I keep trying to remind my friends here in North Carolina who's applauding him for what he's saying to Trump. I'm like, don't applaud him too loud. Marjorie Taylor Greene either. Don't applaud her too loud. She does not get she gets no praise from me. You are still complicit. You are just doing this for yourself. This has nothing to do with right. I don't believe a word she says. Do not listen to her.
Let me speak on Marjorie Taylor Greene real quick for the man, not for y'all, but for the masses. Here's what Marjorie Taylor Greene did. Marjorie Taylor Greene made the layup, which is, okay, you were on the right side of the Epstein issue. Oh, congratulations. That's a layup, to be on the right side of whether or not billionaires should be having sex with young girls. Congratulations. Then, because she was on the right side of the Epstein files, Daddy threw her out of the house. She did not have a moral epiphany that, oh my God, Trump is terrible. Daddy threw you out the house. You are homeless. You can't go back home. So what do you do now? Well, the only hostile in this country is the other side. So now she's knocking on the door at the hostel because Daddy threw her out the house. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not a damn hero. Don't praise Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene was on the right side of a layup, and then Daddy threw her out the house, and she has nowhere to go. We don't need to ever talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene ever again. And for those of y'all, we want to welcome Marjorie Taylor Greene. Kill yourself. I don't care. Kill yourself. She got Daddy threw her out, and she got nowhere else to go.
Yeah, she gets no pass from me. Yeah, I was pretty upset when they had her on The View. I looked at and I watched the episode, and I felt like they could have been tougher on her, but they did ask some pretty tough questions, but they could have been even tougher to me. But I wouldn't have had her on there. I just feel like they need to be silenced, all of them. I don't want them on the show. I don't want them to get any airtime because they don't do anything but sit up there and lie. That's one. Two, it took her long enough. How long have we been knowing about these Epstein files? She ain't say nothing about it years ago. She ain't say nothing. Nothing about it.
Please don't make me have to. I'm not going to defend Marjorie Taylor Greene. But the part of the reason why Trump won over a lot of people was that he was like, as soon as I get into power, I'm gonna release the Epstein files.
Yeah, I know.
Because they thought they would be Biden, because Creepy Joe and all these other, they thought it would have strictly applied to Bill Clinton and people that they don't like. Well, as soon as he got into power, he was like, look, my own mama, she told me, she's like, Marcus, before I was a wife, before I was even a mother, I was a woman first. I think most women could get behind young girls being sexually abused.
Yeah.
Okay. But the only reason she did it originally, because she had been talking about the Epstein file. I will defend her on that. But they did it. They were so eager at the time because they thought it would be Bill Clinton. They didn't think it was going to be their daddy, Trump. And Trump, he played them with that. He knew he was in it. And then he was like, right. Oh, I got the files on my desk. As soon as I get elected, we're going to release them the next day. No, that was he played them, even Marjorie Taylor Greene. And that's when she got upset, because that was her one moment of clarity. And, piggybacking off of what you said, Frederick, her one moment of clarity. The only reason they were so eager with the Epstein files, because they thought they was going to destroy their enemy, and the main people that are in it are the people that they worship.
Marcus, so the Epstein files was Trump's 2-hour recess. That's what it was. It was Trump's 2-hour recess.
That's ice cream for breakfast.
2-hour recess. Yeah. There it goes.
Yeah.
Because Trump was like, look,
2-hour recess.
Tell them I'm gonna release it.
Hey, Fred on fire. I'm like, 2-hour recess.
I ain't gotta do it. I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna do it, but I ain't gotta do it. And then that's why what are we up to now? About 3%, because I know the first batch that they released was like 1%. So we probably had 3% of the files that have been released, and then out of the 3% that's been released, like 70% has been redacted. So it's like, and the thing that people need to remember, as you put out, Trump's he's an egomaniac, he's a narcissist. Marcus, to what you pointed out, he ain't a good. Trump know he ain't got long to be here. Trump don't give a damn once he gone. Like you said, I'm running for this re-election to keep my ass out of prison. I don't want to spend my last few years on earth in prison. Trump know he ain't gonna be here in 5-6 years. I don't give a damn what happened to y'all when I'm gone. As long as shit is good for me while I'm still here, that's all I care about. When I'm dead and gone, and y'all release everything in the Epstein files, and y'all figure out something else to do, what you gonna do? Dig me up and try me? I don't give a damn. As long as I keep everything kosher for my time on this earth, which again, he know he only got a few years left.
Yeah, and maybe not even that long. Right. And this is also why whoever is running, for in 2028, the person who's going to get my support, who I will back, I don't know who that's going to be. We're still a little bit away from that if we can make it. Accountability for these people. Seizing of assets, these oligarchs seizing their assets. Oh, you got this $500 million Qatari jet, Trump. We gonna take that. We gonna take that. Them offshore accounts for this oil that you're selling from Venezuela, we're taking that. There has got to be people out there, and quite frankly, a lot of the Democratic leaders, I'm very disappointed in them, because again, they're not fighters. Cory Booker, he sounds great. He's trying to. They try to normalize these Republicans like it's, we can get along with these people. It's not normal. These are bad people. There is no middle. You cannot have middle ground with neo-Nazis. You just can't. There's no middle ground with them. And you're trying to negotiate them like these are normal political times, and they're not.
There's no John McCain's in the Republican Party right now. Not one. Not that I can see. Not one. You could at least reason with him sometime.
Yeah.
You can't reason with these people.
Ronald Reagan would have been ostracized.
I gotta give you that. You said a lot of nice stuff about John McCain. I gotta give you that.
I mean, I respect him. I respect him as a veteran. And Marcus knows how I feel about veterans. And I just feel that there were times when he worked across the aisle. He worked across the aisle a lot with Joe Biden. They wrote lots of legislation together. They done a lot of things. And people say what they want to say about Joe Biden. I know who Joe Biden is. So damn all the stuff that people say about him being a racist. That ain't him. That's not who he was.
I ain't never think Sleepy Joe was a racist.
I'm here to tell you, people do because of that stupid comment, that comment he made about the jungle. He was being racist. That's not what he was saying. But never mind. I'm not going to even go down that road. It's right down there with super predators and Hillary Clinton. That's not.
Let me get to this next video. Let me get to this next video.
I got 3 minutes.
All right, let me get to this next video. Let's go with this.
Make an appointment. You can come back. I said no. You're asking me to break the law. You're breaking the law. The Constitution is the law of the land, not a memorandum from Kristi Noem. She's already operating above the law, slandering American citizens, murdering people in Minneapolis. When does it all stop? It only stops when the American people rise up. Congress currently is controlled by Republicans. That's not going to last for long. Woo! And everyone's got to stand together to make sure we bring about the change that we know is right.
All right, so that is Congressman John Larson of Connecticut, and he was speaking to a crowd. I believe that he actually was in Connecticut doing this at the time, or it might have been DC. I don't know where he was, but he was speaking to the crowd about what we have to do. We can't, sort of like what Marcus was talking about. We can't back down. We can't. We're tired. We're weary. We're aggravated, but we can't just give in. We have to fight for our democracy because that's what's at stake. And I want to say one word before I go to Black people, especially that's watching this, and they say, well, this country wasn't made for us anyway. I don't care about democracy. It wasn't created for us. What a stupid way to think. Because this place has been here 250 years. Just because it wasn't built for us doesn't mean it's not for us. They built it for them, for white men, yes. That doesn't mean white women were supposed to just never get anything either. That doesn't mean that they shouldn't fight for democracy either. We have to fight for this. It's just like the people who said to me, I don't celebrate July 4th because that's not our Independence Day. And this country wasn't built for us. So I don't celebrate it. Okay. Well, what if we never broke away from England and we were still a monarchy? You think it's bad now for us under democracy? You want to know how bad it would be if we never broke away from England all these years later? Yeah. Think about that. So this is our country, folks. I don't care who it was made for. This is our country. Stephen Miller was on stage, the head of the Heritage Foundation or whatever. He was on stage speaking. And his words were, and this is what I'm quoting, he said, America was built for white Christians. And it's time for us to take our country back. That's what he said. Okay? White male Christians. I left the word male out. Christians.
So for
So
you
I
people
just
who are
want
not
y'all to
engaged,
understand who you dealing with. This man is hell bent. He is like the devil incarnate. When you look at him, it's like he doesn't even have blood in his face. If you just look at his eyes, you can see the evilness just lurking out of this man. You don't believe me? Go look at him. Go watch some video on Stephen Miller, Stephen Miller, and watch him and listen to the things he says constantly and what he supports. That's where we're going, you guys. That's where we're going. And if you like your life like I do, I think America's greatest country on earth. It's greatest experience, greatest experiment on earth. One thing you will say, those founding fathers who people love to talk about, who owned slaves and thought black people weren't human and all that stuff. The one thing that they did right, though, is when they designed how this society should run, they were very smart in how they did it. Creating these checks and balances and branches of government so that not one person can control and run everything like a dictator. Greatest thing on earth. And if you actually read a book to find out what I'm talking about, you'll see it. And with that, I got to go. Love y'all. See y'all later.
All right, have a good one.
Have a good one. All right. Anybody else have anything to say on that? Or
nothing good. Nothing good.
My last words before I get up out of here too: stay engaged. Do not become lethargic. Don't become disenfranchised. When you tap out, there's people out there like Sharon said, the Stephen Millers of the world. They're very engaged. So when you become when you distance yourself and you become distracted and lethargic and disengaged, there are people out there that are plotting day and night to have their way. It is your duty to oppose them. I will lock arms with anybody that will oppose these people. Okay. We live in a time now with mass media and social media and things like that, where your voice is a very important one. You downplay yourself when you're ain't nobody listening to me. There's a lot of people that listen to you. There's a lot of people that listen to you. I didn't see people come on. They get up every morning trying to disagree with you. You got a very important voice. Use that voice. Use your talents. So stay engaged and keep fighting. That's the main thing I would want to say.
All right, Frederick, you got the last words?
I'm just going to piggyback off of what Marcus has been saying this whole time about it, especially when talking about it, it's a fight, 12-round fight. And then back in the day when they used to go 15, 20 rounds, whatever. And I see a lot of people that talk about, when things get heavy and you need to disengage and blah, blah, blah. If you were in the demographic that can do that, understand how much of a privilege it is to be able to disengage. Speaking specifically about like the situation with ICE, for your Latino, Hispanic brothers and sisters that don't get to disengage because as soon as they walk out their front doors, they are targets. Be mindful of that. And to Marcus's point, hey, get your weight up, get your stamina up. Because this whole like where you checking in and you checking out, nah, you got to check in and be in. Like it's too long that people have been able to the people that are on the fence, what are you doing on the fence? Why do you still have a fence? How much more do you have to see to where you stop getting back on the fence and stay in, as Marcus said, and stay in the fight? This fight, we don't have time for you to be on the fence. We don't have time for you to be checking out. Get you some Gatorade, get you some Monster energy drink, whatever. Get your weight up, get in the fight. Because to the video that you just showed the man in the wherever he was at, when I see the video of Alex Pretty, for example, right? I think of two instances, 9/11 and George Floyd. Previous to 9/11, if we were ever in a hostage situation, what were we all told? Oh, just sit down, be calm, do what they want, and just wait for it to work out. But we learned on 9/11 that we can't do that anymore. So something happened, you on a plane, and people get up, start taking over the plane, you got to fight back. Because if you don't fight back, you're going to die. The situation with George Floyd, how many people out there that were watching that man have his lunch break on George Floyd's neck, and they're sitting there, they're screaming at him, and they're, hey, get off him, blah, 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 blah. Those people never thought that they were going to watch this man's life slip away. And I guarantee if you went back to all those people that were there and asked them if they can go back and do it again, they would have all ran in, they would have tackled him, they would have got him off, right? They would have gotten involved and did something. So now you see the video of the murder of Alex Pretty, right? There's ICE agents, they shove the woman down, he steps in, they start pepper spraying, he's got his hand up trying to block the pepper spray. ICE agents tackle him, they take his gun away while he's on the ground, they back up, they shoot him in the back as he's laying on the ground, right? It's not going to get any better because the only way to stop that is for people, when them ICE agents tackled him, is for other people to tackle those ICE agents. And you know what happens then? Now you have dead ICE agents and a lot more dead citizens. So for all these people that are still getting on the fence, this is where we're at right now. We're at a point where in order to keep people from dying, more people are going to end up dying. So if you think you still have time to be on the fence and let me take a break and I got to disassociate for a couple of days because it's all so heavy. No. We're at a breaking point. And the problem with that is that's what Trump wants to happen. He wants people to intervene. They kill ICE agents kill them. Now it's chaos in the streets. Now we enact martial law and blah, blah, blah. We suspend the elections.
Insurrection Act,
all these things. Now we don't have elections, yada, yada. This is where we're at. The time for you to take breaks and sit out, you missed it. That maybe your parents have that luxury. You don't. So to Marcus's point, get involved, stay involved, because we're at that precipice. There is no more time.
He said good trouble. In the words of Marcus Buzz, good trouble.
In the words of Apollo Creed, there is no tomorrow, Rock. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. We'll train tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. All of the sitting out and being disengaged, that time is over. So
one last thing, since we quote movies, I got to give a shout out to my man Julius Levinson. Those of y'all that see Independence Day, because this shit been on my mind. His quote been in my head. For all the people that are now like the MAGA people that are like, oh, well, now that I can't, that are like, now I can't mess with Trump because I didn't know. You knew then and you did nothing. I just want to quote my man Julius because that quote's been in my head. You knew. We've been telling you who this man is. You knew and you didn't care. And now that resonates with you, you knew then and you didn't care.
While you're quoting Independence Day, I got to quit from the president from that movie. We will not go silently into the night without a fight. Period.
Okay, cool, man.
We're gonna live on.
Hey, Q Dog, I forgot what your question was. I was trying to look at it, Q Ball, but I'm sorry, I really forgot what your question was. I actually went back in the comments and tried to find it. I can't find it. Sorry. Definitely great to see you though, Q Ball. I ain't see you in a while. Great to see you. Let me just say that. Damn, y'all had some good final words. Now I got to come with a final word and try to top that.
Can I say one more thing, Dennis?
Go ahead. Yeah, you got it. We're going to end on that.
Alphabet's football show. We're going to do Super Bowl breakdown today at 2:30 Eastern time. So if y'all are around, hop up in there.
It's our last show, right?
Me and Mona going to have a show today. Our last, we'll probably have one more after the Super Bowl, our closeout show. But we are going to have a show today. YouTube, Facebook, come through, chop it up with us. We're going to break down the Super Bowl. We were going to do it last night, but she got a blizzard over there. So we're going to do it today. So make sure y'all come through, man. Show some love and support.
I'm glad we only got a little bit of snow. And with that being said, y'all, I want to thank y'all for coming out tonight. Thank y'all. God bless. And great day.